Half of the U.S. is at risk for moderate or major flooding this spring. We have already seen heavy rain inundate communities in recent days and weeks. And while you can't prevent the storms from hitting, you can help prevent some of the flood damage that they do cause. Joining us this morning with some tips to minimize your losses, Danny Lipford, national home improvement expert and host of Today's Homeowner. Danny, always good to see you. Let's start off with what homeowners can do to actually reduce the risk of flooding.
Well, you really need to know your property and know the history of how water affects your property. I live here on the water, and when it's raining like it is right now in Mobile, Alabama, you really start paying attention. But I feel all right because before I bought the property, I talked to a lot of the neighbors that have been around here a long time to see what the highest the water has ever been. In this case, Hurricane Katrina. But I also checked with the Army Corps of Engineers on their flood maps to make sure that when I built the house that it would never have an opportunity to flood. But if you don't live on the water, there's still opportunities for you to get a lot of water in your home. You need to pay attention to all of the drainage, not only your gutters and your downspouts around your home and making sure everything's flowing away from your house, but also any adjacent ditches or anything that your city or county should be maintaining. If you see some excessive debris in there, make a few phone calls. That's going to be very important when it starts raining like it is right now.
Yeah, you're right in it here in Mobile, Alabama this morning, and really all along the Gulf Coast, we have that threat for flooding. So those people that are in immediate dangers, what should they do right now if the water is rising and they need to take action?
Well, certainly if that water's starting to seep up in any way that you can keep it out of your house, any little diversion or ditches, sandbags, anything that you can keep it out of your house, extremely important. If you see the water starting to seep in, minimize damage any way you can. Sometimes you even have to move your furniture upstairs or even put it up on blocks just so that water doesn't penetrate in there. Also, you got to be real careful with electricity. When water starts getting in, if it gets anywhere close to that electricity, turn it off. It's going to be well worth it. If you're in a house that has a sump pump, hopefully you've already maintained and checked it, and hopefully you got a battery backup. Make sure it's working well. And when that water starts seeping in, it might be the last thing you're thinking about. Take pictures, take videos so that you can document exactly where the water came in and what you can do to prevent it.
You know, Danny, once the water recedes, it can be overwhelming. Where do I begin? What should I do first? Do you have a few tips on what people should do immediately after the water recedes?
Well, you're right, Stephanie. I mean, after a flood and the water that comes in and the damage that it can do, it can really like a punch right in the gut. So first of all, call the insurance company. Be the first one on their list to get that adjuster out so that you can get back to normal as quick as possible. You do have to be careful if you're coming back in after water has gone through your home, not only with electricity, but also any chance of a gas leak. If you smell any gas, leave immediately and call the gas company to get right out there. Then start the drying process after you've documented everything on video and pictures. Open doors, open windows, get every fan you have going turned on, ceiling fans, everything you possibly can, and start moving things outside to start drying. And again, call that insurance company and keep calling until you get a call back.
That's the thing, the persistence. All right, Danny, you always give such good information. We appreciate you coming on this morning. Danny Lipford, home improvement expert and host of Today's Homeowner.